Showboating Sports, guys. Man, we are back. We are back on the scene. So we're gonna talk tonight about Spence versus Terrence Crawford's first press conference that went down today. It was what you was looking for. That's exactly what it was. So we're gonna talk about that today, this evening, right now. And but if you guys are new to the channel, man, I'd like to say thank you guys for coming by. Start being a part of the circle. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Anyway, so we're gonna get on talking about this because you know what, we had it was going down. It was Terrence Crawford versus Earl Spence Jr. And it was the first press conference, man. It was really good. We're gonna talk about that, man. I mean, God. Oh man, there's so much stuff to talk about with this press conference, man. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad that this thing is finally kicked off. You see Terrence Crawford up there with his belt. You see Earl Spence up there with his 3 belts. And then they're going to have the 4 belts, but really the 5 belts in this era because Ring Magazine is going to give up that belt too. Hopefully the WBC puts up a special belt for that. I'm going to hit Mauricio Suleiman up on Twitter and see if they're going to make a special belt for this one. That's what it needs to be. I think they will. They should. This is a once in a couple of decades fight. That's what this fight is about. But like I said, it came in. Both guys are really respectful of each other. You know, you see the mutual respect on both of these guys, which is terrific, man. I'm telling you that, man. You know, one of the things is that when you see two fighters that know what the other fighter brings to the table, the dangerous, the weapons, all that other stuff that comes into the table, you know, you have to make sure that you dot all your I's and cross all your T's for this one. This is going to be one you got to bring a lunch on. This fight right here, you got to bring a lunch on, bro. They're not going to be able to go in this fight and just go in there and take it easy. They got to bring all the stops. They got to be more than ready for this fight. So it all started out, introduced both fighters. They introduced their team. You know, Terrence Crawford had Bomac. Earl Spence had Derrick James. And they asked Bomac a few questions. And Bomac came out and was like, man, I'm so glad they got this fight done. You know, I'm so glad that Earl took this fight, you know. And the thing that I like about this whole thing is that they threw a little shade throughout the press conference. But getting back to Bomac was like, yeah, he said, you know, they got us like we're the B side. You know, they're still stuck on A side and B side, bro. Let me tell you right now, that is over with. Earl Spence is the A side. And I know he had to give some concessions over to Terrence Crawford to make this fight happen. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Earl. Thank you, Earl. Appreciate that, man. You know, you're giving the fans what we want. And Terrence Crawford did too. Because Terrence Crawford, in his head, he feels like he's A side, man. He looks at it like, man, I did what I did at 135. I moved it up to 140. And at 140, I am undisputed at 140. And then I go to 147. And my career didn't fall off as I went up. My career has really went up. At 135, I was good. 140, I was better. 145, I have knocked out every a welterweight that has faced me. So that's how Terrence Crawford feels. He feels like he's the A side. You know what I'm saying? And you know what the thing about it is, as a fan, I'm like, look, dude, you're not an A side. As Earl Spence, you know, Earl Spence has those 3 belts. He is the A side within there. He packs more seats. But I like that Terrence Crawford believes in himself. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people look at that like that's negative. How the hell is that negative? That can't be negative. Terrence Crawford looks and he believes in himself so much. He's like, man, I'm the A side. I'm gonna stop this dude. They asked him, hey, what do you think about Earl Spence's weight and all? He said, man, it doesn't matter. That weight does not matter. He has to make 147. Once he makes 147, I make 147. I don't care what he does the next day. And that's what a true fighter does, man. That's what a true fighter does. And that's what I like about this fight. Is no excuses being made to ask Earl, what do you think about your 16-month layoff? Earl said, man, I took off layoffs longer than that. And this time I'm not trying to heal from any injury. You know what I'm saying? First time was a car wreck. Second time, it was eye surgery I needed. He said, but I'm here. I'm good. That's not going to be a problem. See, you know, people always ask them that to try to see if you're going to have an excuse. And none of these two guys have an excuse for this. Both of them are saying they got their heels dug in. They're saying, hey, I'm going to kick his ass on that night. And that's all it is to it. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they joking. They trying, because See, this fight right here doesn't need a build up. It really doesn't. It only needs a build up for the people who don't know about boxing, the less than casuals. You know what I'm saying? That's the only people that this fight needs to be built up. They need to see them go at it. We already know what's gonna go down. You know what I'm saying? So these guys, I like that they getting some of this off their chest. You know, they throwing little shots. You know, Terrence Crawford said, I don't smoke, I don't drink. And you know, he cut the drinking short. And at first I thought it was a blow. At first I thought it was a blow, but it really wasn't. I don't really, when I really think about it, don't think it was a blow towards Earl Spence. I think that Terrence Crawford tried to watch his words. He said it, but I don't think it was really towards Earl Spence. I think he was just saying, hey, I'm a serious fighter here. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't do none of that, bro. I'm serious about what I do. And he is. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't think it was. Now, before, Bomac always done it. You know, Bomac, when Bomac said stuff like that before, Bomac threw that out there. That was a blow towards Earl Spence, right? But I think in this situation right here, I don't think it was. Double AR, salute, salute, salute. He said, man down, Spence down, man down. But wait, it's Earl Spence. Laugh my, oh, yeah. Yeah, what's up, Double AR? Who else is in the building? Marvin Banks, salute, salute. He said, I wish the press conference was open to the public, though, and I wish they weren't so professional. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what, though? You know what, though? I agree with you, but guess what? That's coming. You know what I mean? Both of these two guys, that you see that how it sparked off a little bit. Earl Spence was like, man, who have you fought? You know what I'm saying? You ain't fought nobody. 8 Mile, salute, salute. Earl Spence was like, man, who have you fought? You ain't fought nobody. That's what Earl Spence told him. And then what Terrence Crawford talking about? What are you talking about? Terrence like, I'm gonna crush you. I like that because as this goes on, this is just the beginning. And these guys ain't fake, and they're not doing it for the crowd, Marvin. This is what you know what I like about this thing. It's all genuine. They all know what they bring to the table, and they all know that they're gonna battle. This is gonna be a battle. You know what I mean? And it's going to get heated up. Marvin, it's gonna get heated up. Right now, this just starting. They happy that the fight is there. They just starting training camp. Now wait till about the beginning of July. You know what I'm saying? As it's starting to turn the corner and they done been in training camp a little longer. They watching what they eat. They getting a little more irritated. As it starts coming down, they're going to get tired of this press conference. They're going to be ready to fight. They're going to be ready to get it on. You know what I'm saying? And that's when it's going to take a turn. It's going to take a turn, bro. You got two lions in there, two real lions in there trying to take each other's heads off. He said, man down productions. Yep. Ain't nobody come to see you, Crawford. He said that boy Spence pull up looking like David Ruffin. Ain't nobody came to see you, Spence. Crawford. Hey, Tune. You right about that, bro. Hey, Spence came in that mud. This Spence not coming that mud looking suited and booted, man. He's ready. Marvin said, I feel you, bro. He said, you're right. It's going to heat up. Oh, hell yeah, it's going to heat up. But I would like for them to jump into it, Marvin. I want to see, listen, this, I've told you guys, I am savoring every moment, every tweet, man, you don't get a fight like this, but this is once in a generational fight. You know what I'm saying? They're not only just undefeated, they both fighting for undisputed. They both undefeated. They both pound for pound 1 and 2. You know what I'm saying? Most of the time you take somebody like Kambosos and Devin Haney. Both of them was undefeated. Both of them was fighting for undisputed. It wasn't the same. You got 1 and 2 pound for pound fighting. You know what I'm saying? And the winner of this is the face of boxing and #1 undisputed. He said Spence look like man down. Nah, Spence look good, bro. Spence look good. He ain't doing a fat camp. You know what I'm saying? Spence is not doing a fat camp. But AAR, it look good. But you know what, though? I'm going to tell you what. I'm glad you brought that up. They kept saying Spence is bigger. And I always say, man, Spence is a little bit bigger than Crawford, whatever. You know, because it seemed like people use that excuse. But today, in that face-off, Spence was kind of looking down towards Crawford. You know what I mean? It's like, Crawford is, you know, he's smaller, but he looks a little bit small. You know what I'm saying? It's a little more noticeable than I thought. You know what I mean? He said it'll be a boring buildup. Neither are talkers. all action, the fight sells itself. Yeah. But you know what though? Tune? They're gonna get pissed off somewhere in here, and you're gonna start seeing tempers flare, and they're gonna get agitated. They're gonna get tired of people talking stuff, and somewhere they're gonna say something that's gonna really spark it. You know what I mean? They really are, because Crawford's sister don't back down, Spence don't, and they letting them. Everybody's trying to get this thing sparked off. You know what I mean? You want to see them go at it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Spence was a lot bigger, taller and stuff. What's up, Ricky Alfonso? Salute. He said, yeah, man, you got to enjoy this. I'm enjoying all the content and build up. Me too, bruh. I'm enjoying everything. Clean cut, salute. Man, I am enjoying every bit of it. You know what I'm saying? Some people like, oh, man, Spence look like he a heavyweight. Hey, I'm going to tell y'all what. This is my thing about this whole situation, man. I want it to get on my nerves. Look how long we've been waiting on this fight for years. And within the last year, we're like, oh, man, they ain't going to make the fight. They ain't going to make the fight. I'm tired of it. So you know what? If we getting tired of it, right? Just the average person getting tired of it, not just us, not us boxing fans, but the average person's getting frustrated with it. Imagine both fighters. That's why I say it's going down, bro. But I'm telling you, and you guys know this, when you look back on all these historical fights that we saw back in the past, did we really enjoy the road to the ring, and did we enjoy the road after, in the ring? You know what I'm saying? Did we savor every moment? You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't really had those kind of fights like that. Hold on one second.
Gerald.
To accept, press 1.
Showboating Sports, you are on, my man, Gerald. How you doing today, man?
And I can't complain. What's up with it?
What's going on with you, man? The floor is yours, man. We let you go ahead and sound off, my brother.
No much, man. Oh, so yeah, I admit they got past phase one. I didn't think the fight was going to happen. So, here. I said I ain't gonna believe it till they in the ring. But nah, real shit. I was surprised. I'm surprised it's happening, but yeah, I mean, you can't make too much out of the first press conference, even though it was a lot. I feel like it was a lot. Yeah, Spence is he.
Hello, Gerald. Your phone cut out, bro. Gerald, I think we do. Your phone cut all the way out, man. We couldn't hear nothing you said.
Oh no, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We heard you say it was a whole lot that went on, and after that, your phone went dead.
Oh yeah, it was a lot that went on, man. I think Mike Tyson said it's a great little boxer that faces a great big boxer, and a great big boxer usually wins. And yeah, Spence is, but it's a size difference between the two. Right. One thing that stuck out to me during the press conference is how adamant was about breaking Terrence Crawford, and I think Crawford. I think they're both ready for it, but I think that's something that really sticks out. You know what I mean? Like, it's past how many fights he done. Like, he savagely hurt him, but you know, like it's gonna take something out you. You know, that's a lot. I think, like, to me, Spence, Tank, Wilder, all those are my guys. I think with Spence though, he's extraordinary in the way that he does everything ordinary, all the ordinary stuff to a high level. To where it looks like people can, a lot of boxers say that, like, oh man, like, Spence ain't shit, I'll jump in there and da. They get in there, they're like, oh shit, Spence just beat my ass, like, you know what I mean? But like, I don't think he gets enough credit for his, like, footwork, his defense, and it's the small shit that he does that I feel like, and I'm not saying I'm no boxing expert by far, but it's a small shit that he does. It's like, damn, it doesn't seem, if you don't really know boxing, it doesn't seem like much. He seems so basic, but it's the ordinary shit that he does. It's like, fuck, he really pinned him like that, and then punched him, and then you see where he stepped, and then he, you know what I'm saying, where he cut off the ring. And, you know what I mean, like that type of stuff. So, I think Spence is going to win. Like I said, it's the guy to me that Spence said he's more focused on breaking him, not even knocking him out. Terrence Crawford's side was more like, I really don't remember what he said. I don't know if he said something about knocking him out or something, but yeah, it was just real prominent. He's like, man, I'm going to break you, like mentally, physically. That's like Rocky and Drago. He's like, man, I'm gonna break you. It's like, oh shit, it's not every day that you hear it. Or boxer say some shit like that and have the proof to go along with it. It was like, oh damn. I personally think that Spence is sadistic. I think he likes pain. He likes to give it. He likes to take it. On his Instagram, you see how much more tattoos he got. He like them there, 75% full of tattoos, right?
Right.
When they talked about his recovery after wreck, his girl was saying how like he wasn't supposed to be walking, he was up walking the steps. And he was like, she hurt, but I think he's sadistic in that way. Like you see Spence get hit with a good punch, he smiles and it kind of turns him on, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they both pointed out like neither one of them are going to back down. They go, somebody going to catch a good punch, the other one try to get it back. And it's just one of those fights where like I say this loosely. I'm just saying it how I'm thinking. Is one of those where like they gonna get a game plan and it's gonna go out the window because of the tension of fire. You know what I mean? Like they not gonna back down. And I think that Bud ain't gonna be able to stand it. You know what I'm saying? Like 12 rounds of like, man, then like was it when Bud fought was it Kell Brook or Albanese? And one of them had his eye on swole. It was Kell Brook. Kell Brook had Terrence Crawford eye on swole. And it was like, oh shit, that's different from Terrence Crawford, you know what I'm saying? And I think Spence said something about breaking Bud's eye, or no, Bud said he's gonna break a Spence eye, something like that. But
Spence said go to my website and go get that eye patch.
Oh man, I don't know. I don't think it'll go 12. I don't think it'll go 12. I think Spence is going to. I think he's going to break. I think he's going to break him.
You think he's going to break Bud?
Yeah. I think Bud can get off. He's going to get a shot. That's Bud. I think they both going to get to express their strength, but I don't think Bud's going to be able to hold up. Because we're talking about the man throw. He throws high volume. You know what I'm saying? And then like I was listening to it was Derrick James on this podcast. They don't have that many views, but he was saying how like I think he said something to the effect that how just hitting the body, just hitting somewhere, it's going to mean something. You know what I mean? I'm going to hit you somewhere, and it's going to eventually your body's going to break down. You know what I mean? I think they asked about Canelo breaking or bruising dude arm. I think it was Ryder or somebody arm. He fucked up or tore their bicep, and it was like that's what we that's what we're going to do. You know what I mean? You can only take so much. Like you ain't. Like, damn, that's wild. So it's not even like I'm trying to knock you out. Like that's different. That's a different type of fight.
You're trying to beat you into submission, basically.
Yeah, that's a different type of mentality, and that's somebody to get happy off of this, like you know what I'm saying,
I think what you're saying is right. That these two fighters gonna go in there with a game plan, and then it's all about who's the most dominant fighter, the more dominant fighter. So they're gonna both be trying to show that they can overtake the other one. You know what I mean? They showing dominance over the other one. And you got two of them. That's gonna be hard, man, because they both got that unstoppable mentality. I'm not gonna quit.
Man. That's gonna be. Hey, I think the game plan's gonna go out the window. They're gonna I think at the end of the day, they're gonna resort back at their habits, and it's gonna be a fight of that. I'll be very, very surprised if Bud. I can't say I'd be very, very surprised, but I will be a little surprised if Bud went back and made a lot of adjustments and all kind of stuff. I just see both of their. Like, you know what I mean? It's all the marbles on the line. They're going to go at it. You know what I mean? Adjustments going to be made, but not like, boxing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think they're just going to go in and just, they're going to have the times where they're going to have their brawls probably reset, little boxing, back to brawling. Because somebody's going to catch a good punch. And they they're going to have to get that back.
Right.
So,
Right. Man, I can't wait, but man, like I said before, savor the moment, man. We definitely got to savor this moment. You won't hardly
Yeah,
see one of
right.
these no time soon. You know what I'm saying? Because think about it like this: the only other way this
Yeah.
will work out again anytime, well, it won't, because well, let's say if Bud or Spence, one of them win this fight, right, and then win the rematch and stays undefeated, then you would have Jaron Ennis that could step in undefeated and do this again. You know what I mean? Now that would be ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
But nobody thinks that Jaron Ennis can compete with one of these two dudes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't think this could be
Yeah. I think he
fabricated
called
again.
him next, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He's always calling them next, man.
Then
You know, he think
yeah.
he ready, but he ain't ready for that. I don't
Yeah.
think he ready for them dudes yet, to be honest.
I don't think he is. Me neither.
I think he's as close
I'm
as
with
it
you on that.
comes.
I don't think. Facts. Yeah. Do you see so I you know, after they have they scrap, who do you see coming up like 147? I mean, we got boots out there. Do you see anybody from 140 coming up like Josh Taylor, T.O.? I mean, I'm just throwing out names. Tank. Do you see anybody coming up to 147 to kind of make a splash?
Nah, not right now, because Josh Taylor just got his butt whipped by T.O. That was bad. That wasn't even that. I mean, he beat him like it was reversed. It was like Josh came up to 140, 140. You know what I mean? T.O., listen, man, I gotta still do a video of that because I've been busy all weekend. But T.O., I did not think that was going down. I kept saying T.O. is not going to get past Josh Taylor. He beat the brakes off Josh Taylor, dude. If he had been a little bit more confident,
getting on some crazy shit.
Yeah, dude, he could have stopped Josh Taylor. Dude, it's over for Josh Taylor, bro. That's over. And I don't think Regis can't go up there and handle nobody up there. Regis can fight, but Regis ain't ready for nobody up there. I don't see Regis beating Spence, none of the top five. He ain't beating none of the top five. And Regis probably the best is down there. T.O. can't move up and get them guys. You know what I mean? I say, you know, he.
Well, no. After Spence, say Spence and Bud go to 154, they you know, after they fight, but ain't much at 147 for them. It's hurting them. They're gonna move up off the league, right? Like, or they go, retire. So, like, besides Ennis, do you see anybody coming up to 147 with Bud and Spence been out the way? You see anybody coming?
Nah, it's gonna be hard to get past. It's gonna be hard to get past Keith Thurman, Ugas, and Nat and Stanionis, and you still got Ortiz. I just don't think none of them guys at 140 gonna handle that power real easy. You might, you know, Gary Antoine Russell could be a durable fighter like that. I think Regis Prograis could, but Regis Prograis is on the small side. You know what I'm saying? He'll be a small. He's not a big dude.
Yeah.
You know, so you got some of them people, but
yeah, that's true. I don't think he got the power to you know.
Regis can hit. Regis can fight. Regis can fight. But then you got to see what. But then we got to see what Ryan Garcia turns into and what Devin Haney turns in at 140, because this is the thing. The reason why I said we need to see that is because at 135 they both was a little weak, a little bit stuff down there. And is Devin Haney really weight drained? That's the question. So with 140, will we see some power from him? You know what I'm saying? Now, if he gets to 140 and you start seeing some power from him, you start seeing more power from Ryan, you start seeing these guys start blossoming at 140, because those guys are some big dudes, man. They'll make 147, but we got to see what they do at 140 and see how their body adjusts. But yeah, those guys could come up and challenge some people at 147, you know, after Crawford and Spence leave, of course. You know what I mean? Because Crawford right now at 35 years old, he ain't got nothing but like maybe 2 more good years out of him before Father Time starts catching on. You know what I mean? So 2 good solid years. Yeah. So he might as well make a run for it. So in the next 18 months, Crawford's gonna do Crawford, but I don't see him getting past Spence. I just don't. You know, even though they got Spence as being the underdog on this thing. Huh? Nah, I ain't going to decision.
Man, what you fucking crazy?
I don't think it's going.
But they got him as like, yeah, I mean, they about to make a lot of money with Spence being an underdog. Like, I honestly, I've been really thinking about like what Bud can present to keep Spence off of him. Now, I give him, I think he got power in both hands. But you know, you also got to take some too. It's not like he got one hit to quit or not, you know. So you're gonna have to take some too. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I really can't. I can't think of anything that really keep you know, Spence back. And if he got power like that, I can see. You know, I don't know. I don't. And then also too, I think a rule of thumb, right? he been fighting B level folks, C level folks, and you fighting all A pluses. You game ready, like you know what I'm saying. Like if he win it, I'll be
shocked.
You know,
I'll be shocked.
Anything can happen, but
listen. Bud, listen, and this is hypothetical. This is hypothetical. I know they was asking Bud about it, but then somebody said this, but it was just going around. This is my point. I got Spence at like barely winning. You know what I mean? Like not barely winning, but it's like, to me, it's a 50-50 fight. I give Spence 51-49 Bud. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I believe. I think it's a real close 50-50 fight. And they even betting on that in Vegas. The odds is Terrence Crawford is -124, Earl Spence is +1. You know what I'm saying? So they real close at that anyway. They was real close. But I think that when it comes down to it, man, if Bud was to pull this Spence thing off and go up there and fight Jermell Charlo and stop Jermell Charlo, we got to put Bud in one of those conversations that he's one of the best to do it, bro. He one of the best to do it, man.
Oh man, he surpasses Mayweather at that point if he do that. Like Bud can do anything in my book. He can fight magic, and I'll be ready to see that shit. Like he can do anything. I wouldn't give a fuck what Bud did. Like he could fight roosters, and I'd be like, man, that's that nigga right there. Like man.
Yeah, Bud would be a beast. I don't see him getting past Spence. I think it's gonna be a war. But you know what though? On this fight right here though, if it is a war, it's gonna take a lot out of these two fighters. You don't know how much they're gonna have left after this. You ever see two fighters that just after a war like that, you leave some in the ring. So you got to get past each other twice. That's what's so hard about this. You know what I mean? They both got an automatic rematch, and that's what Bud said. Bud said, "I got to beat him twice." Bud said it on stage. So we might be looking at a trilogy. And at the end of a trilogy, if it goes trilogy, if one of them ain't dumb enough to just really show out and it goes a trilogy, it ain't going to be a lot left. Bud will have to retire after them if it's that kind of a war because of his age. Not just saying, you know what I mean? You're in there 3 times with Spence, and then Spence, if Bud is really that guy, man, that's going to be wild, man.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be insane, man. I would, man, Bud would literally be the best boxer that ever existed until we see something better.
He be in the conversation. I ain't gonna put him up that high, but he be in the conversation.
I ain't gonna front. He'd be my number one, even though I'll be like, damn. I like Spence. I like Tank. I like Mayweather. I mean, my favorite boxer is Ray Robinson, but I ain't gonna front. He'll leapfrog everybody. Both of them motherfuckers, man. What? That's crazy.
Yep.
But, I ain't gonna keep you no longer, man. I just I think it's gonna be I don't think Bud's gonna make it the whole fight. It's gonna be a good fight, but I think he's gonna wear it down. Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate you calling in, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Catch you back in the chat. All right. Oh yeah. Somebody just tried to call in, man. The phone lines are back open. Feel free to call on in. Let you guys ring out. Tell me what you guys thought about this press conference, man. It's just so much to talk about on this press conference, man. It just really is, man. Bomac said a lot. Derek James said some things too. So Terrence Crawford, I mean, everybody got some stuff out their chest, and I loved it, man. This is one of those fights that, man, I wanted to get here tomorrow, but I also want to live in the moment, live in the time, and watch this build up.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Showboat Sports. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, Showboat? This is Marvin, man. How you doing?
What's up with you, man? Salute, man. We're doing just fine.
Salute to you, man. I just had to call in and make a couple of comments on the fight.
Go ahead. Floor is yours.
Just a couple of things. I was in the chat, and I was I chatted that the press conference was kind of quiet, right? But I went back and looked at it, and it kind of got heated up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I had to go back and say, wait a minute, it was heating up. You know what I'm saying? They kept it professional, but it started to heat up a little bit. When Bud said he gonna fish fry Spence and feed him to everybody, and And Spence was like, we're gonna smoke bud and all that. So I'm like, it's I'm like, it's getting kind of heated. But the fight itself, right? Just looking at the history of both fighters, I don't see it being as close. I don't see it 50-50.
Okay.
And let me explain why.
Okay.
You got. Let's start with Spence. You got a former Olympian who, by many people, when many people said that the sparring gave Floyd that work. You know what I'm saying? He fought the best at 147, and everybody he fought, champions were not the same after they fought Spence. Either they, think about it, Ugas still out. Ugas still didn't fight. Danny Garcia, he took 2 years off before he fought again. You know what I'm saying? Porter wasn't never the same. He had to get hip surgery, and, it was things about him that wasn't the same. So when I'm looking at this fight, I just think, with Crawford, I think Crawford being with top rank, I think they matched him well. I think they made him look good. I mean, even at 140 when he was undisputed, he ain't fighting the killers. I mean, he had Ndongo. You know what I mean? And then even at 147, he fought Jeff Horn. And then all the other fighters, man, were past their prime. They C-level fighters. So, and I'm like, I can't see it being 50-50. I think it's going to be, they're going to fill each other out the first 3 rounds, man. But I think Spence is going to walk through Bud. I mean, I know it sounds crazy, but that's just my gut feeling, being somebody that's watched boxing a long time, man. I think Spence is going to dog walk him. I think he stops Bud. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a lot of going back and forth between fans. I got a lot of respect for Bud. I don't want people to think that I don't have respect for Bud, man. But I'm just looking, looking at the careers of both. I'm telling you, what you think, man? I know you say it's 50-50, but Crawford, man, Crawford gonna get hurt in this fight.
Well, man, I'll tell you what I think. I like both fighters. I really do. I have the utmost respect for number 1 and number 2. I think that Crawford, all the competition that he got in front of him, he did what he's supposed to do with him and stopped him. I do have Earl winning this thing. One thing I can say, though, the art of boxing, Terrence Crawford knows it. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to hit you in them angles, and it's just certain punches and stuff that Terrence hit you with that you don't see coming. I think he's a really good fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a good street fighter too. He has that knockout from angles, and he knows how to throw them crisp, clean punches. And I think that works in Bud's favor. I think Bud is strong. I do have Spence winning. I have Spence winning because I think that Spence is technically sound, but he's responsible. Like Spence takes some hits, but Spence parries a lot. Spence just doesn't go in there.
Right.
To the average person, they think he's just going there to brawl. He's not brawling. Now he brawled a little bit with Sean Porter, but that wasn't this version of Earl Spence. That was Earl Spence drinking and all that other stuff. If you take the Spence that fought Ugas, he would have stopped Sean Porter. I feel Sean Porter would have been hurt. Yep. You know what I mean? And so this Spence here, this version of Spence right here is dedicated, rededicated himself, and he's taking it 100% serious. And I think that's going to be what it takes to get him over the top. And I think he'll stop. I think one of the two going to stop each other. And I got Spence stopping Bud.
I agree with you 100%. But see, when the difference for me is, I think people underestimate Spence's actual boxing skills. Now, I agree with you that Spence lost a little dedication in his career with the partying and everything, and allowing himself to put on a lot of weight. But to me, in each of those fights, he wanted to prove to each fighter that he can beat them at their own game. He could have easily stayed on the outside and beat Sean Porter easily, but he wanted to show him.
Exactly.
And I'm going to come at you like a bull, like you plan on coming at me, and I'm going to still beat you. Like he showed, come on now.
Mikey Garcia.
Stop Mikey Garcia.
Yeah, he just fought them at their own game. I agree with that. I think that's what Spence was trying to do.
Exactly. And now with Crawford, Crawford is one of those cats where, now he can fight. Crawford can fight. And, people have heard about his wrestling skills and things of that nature. He's very competitive. He's one of those guys that anything he does, he wants to beat you. Mm-hmm. But I saw something when Spence approached Crawford in Oklahoma back what was that, backstage? I mean, I forgot which fight it was. I think the Maurice Hooker fight.
Yeah, I think so. With him
He came
and
there,
downstairs on ES News.
Yeah, he came there when he had the red hoodie on and they was talking trash to each other. Okay, he came there with one of his boys and his girl. I'm telling you, the energy was different. It was almost, Crawford looked at him like, dude, don't you know who I am? And you still not scared? Like, you actually stepping to me, Slim? Like, it was a shock because I don't think Crawford is used to that. Like, it's only been a couple of guys I think Crawford paused when they stepped to him. I think it was Lil Gary Russell. Because Gary Russell is, he it's when guys have that same energy for Crawford. And I ain't talking about faking. I'm talking about they true street dudes, they true gutter fighters. Yeah. I think Crawford, he kind of, I ain't saying he's scared, but it's like, you know what I'm saying?
It's a different level of respect.
You know what I mean?
It's a different level of respect.
Exactly.
Like Crawford gets, to me, he rises to the occasion, but just what you said, like he told Jose Benavidez, concentrate on your fight for you won't make it to your fight. You know what I mean? But then when Earl talks shit to him, he like, hey, y'all both laughing and shit, but Crawford like, yeah. So I agree with what you're saying on that.
Exactly.
That it's a different level that they both, it's like killers respect killers. I think that's what he noticed in him. He like, I'm not gonna do, we have mutual respect for each other. I know what you bring to the table, you know what I bring to the table. So I agree with you on that, man.
Right. Let me ask you something. You ever seen the movie
See which movie again? Your phone cut out.
You ever seen the movie Tombstone, the Western Tombstone?
Oh yeah.
With Kurt Russell. Okay, so like that's one of my favorite movies, right? It reminds me of Spence being Val Kilmer, Doc Holliday, and Crawford being what's her name? I forgot my man's name. But when they was it was a bar scene where they kind of sized each other up. And Ringo was flipping the gun around, and Val Kilmer looked at him like, Slim, what's that? And he started flipping the cup around. What I'm saying is, it's like he wasn't impressed where most guys would be intimidated and shine away. And like you said, it made both of them guys have a more respect for him. Now, at this point, Crawford got to play his role. He got to talk trash. He in the fight now. Ain't no getting out. So he got to stay Crawford. But I still see, you know what I'm saying, it's a certain level of respect that he has. Even though he's talking trash, it's still a certain level of respect he had for Spence, man. But I ain't gonna take too much of your time, Showbo, but I'm telling you, man, we gonna talk about this after July 29th. I think by the 5th round, he's gonna start. The things gonna get bad for Crawford, and either the towel gonna get thrown in so they can have something left for that second fight, but so they can get the bag. Or the ref gonna stop it, man. I mean, I don't see nobody punching nobody, but I see the ref stopping it on Crawford. We'll see, though. It's a great fight.
But listen, man, we're gonna ride this out all the way to the fight. So we're gonna be talking about this. We're gonna be talking about these press conferences. We're gonna talk about this body language. Because man, you know what? It's gonna be a whole lot of different stuff leading up to this fight. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna be on here talking a lot. We come on live every weeknight, 10 p.m. Eastern. And so, like I said, we're gonna keep talking about this. We're gonna keep coming up. We're gonna keep seeing how things change and see what's going on. You know what I mean? See how body language. But I think that you say,
salute to you, man.
Appreciate it. But I think one thing that we can say that I think that we both try and say is that real recognize real, and they see that in each other. And I think it does, because you remember who was that said it was Regis Prograis. Did you hear what he said about Crawford before I let you go?
Nah, what'd he say?
He said that they was talking about fighting Crawford, but they talking about boxing. But when you talk about that, your boys on your team, they thinking we got to be mad at this. So Crawford was in his city, and he was down there in New Orleans, and so his homeboy surrounded Crawford, and Crawford stood his ground like, "What y'all gonna do?" And his homeboy said, and so when Reese came around, he said, "Nah, man, it ain't about fighting. We talking about in the ring type stuff, right? This ain't what we talking about. This is all professional." And his homeboy said, "Man, we approached that dude out there in the street, and it was like a bunch of them." And they said, "Dude, Crawford didn't back down." Crawford looked at them like, "What y'all talking about? What y'all want to do?" They all said they respect that dude. Same thing Kenny Porter said when Crawford was like a teenager, Crawford was waiting on him in the alley to fight him.
I would never say Crawford not a dog, man. I wouldn't
Oh
say that.
yeah. But I
it
think what it
kind of
is
reminds me.
they just recognize each other ain't going. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's gonna be there's two warriors, two grown men. That's the part I think everybody can respect. I mean, I see the fans going at each other and they get kind of, get a little disrespectful between fans, but I think everybody can agree that this is two warriors, two real dogs that's going to get into it. It reminds me of Marvin Hagler and Tommy Hearns, I'm telling you, because it might be the first 2 rounds, maybe filling out, but after that, they stepping. And it's whoever got the will. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to who doesn't want to have their will broken in front of the world, and it's for all the marbles. Woo! Like, think about that. Like, look, one more thing real quick, Shovo. Look, as accomplished as Crawford is, right? He does not want to allow Spence to be the first undisputed 147-pounder in the 4-belt era at his expense. He don't want that.
Right.
And Spence don't want Crawford to be 2-time, undisputed in 2 divisions, which has never happened that I can remember. Where on the 4-belt era, 2 division undisputed on his expense. Like, this is gonna be fire, dude. Like, this is serious right here. Like, Showboat, this serious, man.
Yeah.
This right. Look, I'm gonna let you go, but I'm gonna be tuning into your channel, man.
Okay.
Every night at 10, man. Good stuff, Showboat. But man, nice talking to you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We'll catch you back in the chat, man. Catch you back in the chat. All right.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Karma, salute, TD, salute, Joseph N, salute everybody, man. Appreciate you guys rolling up in here, man. Yeah, man. All is well. We in here talking about this press conference. So the phone lines are open. Anybody want to call in and say what they thought about this press conference, man? Please feel free to call in, sound off. Man, this press conference was good. It could have been more. I think it could have been more fiery. You know what I'm saying? And I wish I like to see him go back at it, but that was the first one. It's just the first one. The rest of them's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. The rest of them, because they want to make sure that these guys are showing, over, what's on their mind. You know what I mean? They're trying to get them to talk, but only thing is Bud hadn't really ever talked like that, but he's going to.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
Showboat Sports. Who am I speaking with?
This is Donald from the Bay Area, man.
Oh, what's up with you, man? Salute, man. How you doing, man?
What's up? Yeah, I called you before. We were talking about Paulie and Devin, how you was hating on Devin. Yeah. I saw the press conference, and Spence, I'm a big Spence fan, but the great thing about Spence is I think he's seen just about every style. Well, probably Crawford has too, because Crawford has more fights than Spence. But I think Spence has seen just about every style. Like he even said, I think they did some interviews after the presser. Spence said that he handled Danny. Danny is probably the best counter puncher in the game. Now I'm sure Crawford is, a little faster and probably a little more craftier with the angles. But he said that Danny is probably, like, hands down, probably the best counter puncher in the game. And, he had no problems with Danny, And I just, even Mikey, I think, people say, Mikey moved up 3 divisions and the 3 weight class and all that. But I remember before that fight, people were saying, Mikey, he's too smart for, for Spence. He's a better boxer and all that. And he beat Mikey the way that people thought Mikey was going to beat him. Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
I just think, so I just think that Spence has seen, I think Spence has seen Crawford's style more than Crawford has seen Spencer's style. Like, Crawford has never seen nobody that's going to be on it. Like, I guess probably the closest thing is probably Porter, but then Porter, because he didn't have the reach, and Porter was doing a lot of lunging. That's how he got dropped, when he was doing a lot of lunging. And I think he was doing a lot of lunging because he didn't have the reach like that.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Man,
go ahead.
go ahead. What you gonna say? What you gonna say?
No, and I was saying, even with the munching he was doing, remember Porter before he got dropped, he was actually winning. He was up on the cards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Porter was doing good. I had Porter a little bit ahead till Bud kicked in that second gear.
Yeah. So so that's what I think. I mean, the scary thing about Crawford though, he does know how to adjust. To me, he kind of got the Floyd in him. How how Floyd was having problems with Sugar Shane, and he eventually figured him out. Yeah. So, Crawford does have that ability to kind of adjust to your style. So that's going to be tough too. But then Spence, he knows how to adjust too. Because when he fought Porter, Porter was giving him problems, and he eventually dropped Porter. So Spence has the ability. So I think this is gonna be a real matchup between who adjusts, who makes an adjustment, who adjusts to their adjustment.
Mm-hmm. And something else though, I'm gonna ask you this: what's your thoughts on this? When the caller Juro had called in a little bit early, and he said he had a good point too, is that they are both gonna come in there with a game plan, but once they get in there and them egos start going out, and they start trading licks, it's gonna be who can stand up to the other one. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so. To me, like Bud, he has that kind of that little man kind of complex. Like I noticed, like even with boxers, like any boxer call him out, he'll respond that day. Like like if Pink says something about him, if any boxer, Jamal, Wilder, he'll respond that day. Whereas like I mean, I've seen Errol kind of respond, but Errol sometimes he'll respond like a week later. Maybe he'll respond in the next interview. But Bud, he'll respond that day. So it's like he does have that kind of like that little man complex where like I gotta show you who's the boss. Right. But then against Spence, that could get him hurt against Spence because Spence, that's kind of what Spence wants you. He wants you to come at him. So. That'll be a good one. I just think it's funny that all these people are doubting Spence, that he's down. Because I find it interesting. I called in another show last week, and I was saying it's funny how when you say the name Errol Spence, you think of, well, at least in my head, I think of like boxing not superstar, but boxing star.
Yeah, he's a superstar. I agree with you.
Yeah. But well, I mean, I wouldn't say super. To me, I think superstar is like my little sister. Like Floyd. My little sister knows Floyd. My little sister wouldn't know Errol Spence.
Right, I got you. That transcends. Transcends the sport. I got you what you're saying. Everybody know who Pacquiao is, even if you don't know boxers. I got you.
Exactly. My mom knows Pacquiao is. My mom, if I say Errol Spence, my mom be like, "Who the hell is that?"
Right.
Like,
got you.
Yeah. But so in my head, I think like star. But then if you think about it, like he's always dominant. Like almost every fight he's in, people always have. Like I remember people literally saying they thought Mikey was going to be, oh, Mikey, he's a better boxer. He's too smart. And he's like, what? And then Ugas, Ugas, man, I don't know. He's too rough and tough, and I mean, I can see the Danny fight. I can see the Danny fight because that was his first fight from the accident. Because they were, Danny, he's a hell of a counter puncher. And I don't know. Like people always doubt him. So, it's almost like he, and I don't know, it seems like a lot of boxers hate on him too, especially the legends, like Sugar Shane. I'm not Sugar Shane, Roy, Tarver,
Sugar Ray Leonard
was kind of
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah, he was. Sugar Ray Leonard picked against him against Mikey. He said Mikey was going to stop Errol.
They said, why you pick Mikey? Because he's Mikey. You're like, dude, you didn't even have a reason why.
Yeah.
Dude, one thing that I've been saying too, I've been saying this for the longest, is that it's funny how these boxers out here, they make these predictions and talk about this stuff. And you're like, y'all great boxers, but y'all about most of the time get it wrong. Professional boxers, when they tell you stuff, they wrong a lot. I'm like, how are y'all so wrong?
Yeah. And Tarver, man, I lost a lot of respect for him because I used to really like him. And he's a really intelligent mind. Like, you listen to him talk, he definitely knows how to, like, articulate the boxing game. But he comes off as a hater. Like
he is.
It's almost like It's almost like it's personal with him.
Yeah, but you know what though, man? I'm gonna say this though. Tarver was never that guy he claims he was. You know what I mean? He tried to compare himself
No,
to. He said, you
no.
know, me and Bud are similar. I'm like, there is nothing that you and Bud are similar with. That y'all just two black guys that box. You know what I mean? You didn't do nothing in the ring like Crawford. And let's be honest, you beat Roy Jones Jr., but you picked that was the best time to fight Roy. You lost the first fight. Roy should have never fought you the second time,
Yeah,
right? That was stupidity on
yeah,
Roy.
yeah,
But this is the thing. Everybody knows how your weight affects you, correct? Everybody knows that, right? So 1 or 2 pounds affects you big time, correct? Don't we all agree to that? So Roy went
yeah,
from his weight all the way up to 200 pounds, had to come back down 25 pounds. And Roy, most of that was muscle because Roy was so lean. That's going to leave you weak.
yeah,
So you fought Roy
yeah,
after he went to heavyweight and came back down in his late 30s. His body couldn't do it no more. So that's how you won. That's how I
yeah,
think it was.
yeah, yeah. And what happened when he fought Bernard? He didn't win a single round.
Nah, he didn't. Tarver was never
He
that.
didn't win a single.
Tarver is a okay. I think Tarver was an okay fighter, but I don't put Tarver in no conversation where I thought he was just a really good fighter. I don't see it. It ain't like
No.
Tarver was even on a Michael Nunn level.
Yeah, I compare him to Vernon Forrest, you know, like the one hit wonder guys, you know, but only reason we know Vernon Forrest because he beat Sugar Shane. You know, only reason we know Tarver because he beat Roy. Like what else? I mean, you know, I hate to talk about, you know, I know what happened to Vernon Forrest, so I don't mean to dark him out. But I mean, but what else have they done other than Sugar Shane and Roy? We don't know him for nothing else.
Yeah. But Tarver it seems like Tarver's trying to get his podcast out and so much other stuff that he's doing. So I think he's out in the media saying a whole bunch of craziness to be relevant. That's how I look at it. But
yeah, it's like it's almost like it's personal. Like you know the stuff he said about Devin. Like after the local, I was like, dude, do you even know Devin? Like, why are you saying this stuff? You know, like that's why I'm glad Bill Haney. I don't know if you've seen this interview he did about a week ago. He really went at Tarver because I'm like, dude, why are you saying this stuff? Like, I think you probably never even met Devin to be saying these things. Like, and I noticed like when Wilder, you know, when he was going through stuff with Fury 2 and Fury 3, just saying all these, like, what the hell is up with you?
Yeah, trying to be relevant, man.
You know. Yeah. So, you know, and like I said, it sucks because, you know, Tarver, if you ever hear him talk the game, like he's very intelligent. He knows boxing, and I feel like he could be so much of a benefit, but he just almost, he want to be a troll almost.
Yeah, listen, he's just trying to get off that fence where people like him and hate him, and by that time he'll rise up. You know what I mean? So some people do that, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, it just seems like a lot of these legends they be hating, and especially against Earl. You know, like I mean, even Roy, he didn't say stuff. You know, just like a lot of these legends, they all picking against him. Only legend that picked Earl was Mike.
Yeah. But you know, one thing I think about some of these legends that when they ask them about that, and they go, "Well, I haven't really had a chance to watch them fight." Then how the hell you got to comment? You know what I mean? It's just like,
exactly.
If you think that one fighter is gonna win, I get it. I don't cry about somebody else's predictions, right? But when you say Earl's gonna lose to Mikey, well, why do you think Mikey gonna win? Because he's Mikey. What was the point in saying that? Say, man, I don't even know, man. It could go either way. Just say that. Just say that. I don't really know. Because you don't know. But when you say something stupid like because he Mikey, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, dude. You could have just picked Earl for that. You know what I mean? Or just, you know, hey, I'm picking Earl because it's Earl. You know what I mean? But you went with Mikey, the smaller fighter. You know what I mean? That's what makes it so outrageous. You didn't even have a reason. Smaller fighter.
Yeah. And you know, and I hate to say this too, like, you know, but you know, like especially, you know, other fighters like Mike, you know, other Hispanic fighters, they be on code, you know, they support each other. It's like our fighters, we make it a point to go against each other. That's why I like what Spence said. You know, he said my people always going against the grain because, you know, like Fernando Vargas, De La Hoya, all them people were all going for Mikey. But then our fighters, we want to pick Mikey, and just like what is it? Like we can't never be on code for nothing.
Yeah,
We can't never. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing I do like Floyd. He does be on code with people. I mean, but Floyd, he does a lot of other clown stuff. I mean, he be on code, but he don't give us so many opportunities. How many hours he get paydays? He probably gave like 3 of us paydays. Like,
right.
And we saw just a week ago what happened with that, right? He gave somebody else a payday, and look where
Mm-hmm.
they really showed them how they feel about him. So.
Hey, that happens, don't it? But yeah, man, I'm so glad. What was the best thing you think at this press conference? What was the thing you think stuck out the most? And then we're gonna open back up the phone line.
I just well, it did seem like both of them were kind of nervous. I think tomorrow, the one in New York, I think that'll be better because the one that stuck out with me was that they both have mutual respect for each other because they didn't really, because I've seen Terrence in press conference, usually he talks a lot of shit. And Errol too. Errol kind of soft spoken. Errol don't really dog people out, but Doug, he really clown people. But it's like I noticed that both of them have both mutual respect for each other.
Right. And I agree with you.
And but some people said he looked a little nervous. I know a lot of people were like, "Oh, he looked nervous." I don't know about that. I don't know if any of these fighters are scared of each other, but I thought that they kind of look a little shy and a little. And I just noticed a mutual respect for each other. Like,
right.
And up until my Spence had went at him with the who you fought, it was pretty much cordial. Even the trainers, were kind of keeping it cordial. Nobody's really bitching. But I think maybe tomorrow we'll probably see more fireworks. But I think today, probably because of the first one, it was kind of like respect.
And I think what it is too is that I don't think that Top Rank has ever promoted Bud the same way PBC is going to promote this fight. You know what I mean? And I think that when you're sitting down there, Bud's a little hesitant because they was asking Bud, they was asking him on one of those things. They asked me, they said, "What do you know about all of his?" Bud was like, "Yeah, I don't really do it, but I'm getting used to it. I'm coming on out." But so you see Bud now, he's like, "Okay, I'm understanding what's going on." It's like he's finally starting to ease into it, you know what I mean? Because normally Bud ain't like, "Man, I'm ready to fight. I ain't really got nothing to say. I ain't really promoting." But Bud has one thing I can say now, whatever this deal was or whatever they told Bud, he's been coming out promoting. He's been coming out like a regular PBC style fighter where it's like, I got skin in the game. I know what I say is going to sell more tickets. And that's the way he's carrying himself more. And I'm liking it. I think Spence done been through it so many times. That's a little different for Spence. Spence a little more relaxed. Buzz seems like he's trying to, just a little bit, like, okay, let me find out, what to say, what not. You know what I mean? That's because, this is his whole first time being with PBC. So it's got to be a little bit more getting used to with the PBC brand because Top Rank does their things a little different. So I think that's what that is. Yeah. But I agree with you. Tomorrow's press conference should be a lot better. And guess what? I'm going to be right there on it.
Yeah. Like, I think, like I said, I think because it was the first one, I think they kind of didn't know what to expect. And I think tomorrow they'll probably start throwing more jabs at each other. But I wanted to be real. I don't want to be throwing jabs just be throwing jabs.
I agree.
I wanted to be organic. Yeah. I mean, because like Bud said, the fight's going to sell itself. So they don't need to be up here like clowning each other and sending DMs and sending tweets at each other. Everybody, the fight is going to sell itself.
Right. Right.
As long as it's organic, not just a bunch of just, made up stuff to sell the fight. I mean, because they're not going to get that Ryan Garcia crowd. They're not getting that. Because, this is a fight for like real boxer fans. Like I said, my little sister don't know Errol Spence, so they're not getting the same crowd they was getting with Tank and Ryan. They're not getting
right.
But I don't want them to even try to go down, bring out Drake or something like that because they're not getting that.
Yeah, but and I agree with you on it. But the thing about this is going to be one of those matches that is going to get such an uproar that I think from the people that really love the boxing sport, because when celebrities get involved and they want to be there, the LeBrons and all those people, that stuff trickles down. And that's what's getting ready to start coming into it, because everybody has been so turned off for this fight from over the years. You still got people that, is it really real this time? Is it going to be something? And everybody's still hesitant, but it's like everybody now is starting to come on over and buy into it. And it's like trying to bring back the excitement, because like I said, nobody want to talk about it. Everybody's so disgusted with both of them. No matter which one you thought was right or wrong, you was like, man, forget them. I'm done with them. You know what I mean? But I think now all that stuff is turning. And I think that what we're going to see here real soon, as they going from city to city, you'll see all of that stuff turn over. And if that fight is going to be a whole lot bigger than what some of the people predicting it to be.
Yeah. It's definitely gonna be. It's definitely gonna be. It's definitely gonna be an interesting night. I'm definitely. I'm going. I mean, no comment on what I paid for the chicken, but I just want. I wanted to go because So I'm from the Bay. We only hour flight from Vegas, so it's not a long flight.
Oh man,
and
there.
I didn't go to.
I said, well, you there? You got to be there.
Yeah, and I didn't go to the Pacquiao Mayweather. I always wanted to go to that, so it's kind of close. I mean, even though this ain't that Pacquiao Mayweather, it's kind of closest thing to that. So
it's right there at it, bro. if not a little bit better, because it's more on the line than it was with Pacquiao and Mayweather. You know?
Yeah.
Because the only thing they had going for that was that Floyd had that O. And everybody want to see Floyd lose that O. It wasn't for undisputed, because Floyd didn't care nothing about the belts, really. He win them, got rid of them. So, but yeah, this is gonna be a good one, bro. So you definitely want to be here. It's a historic fight. You know what I mean? Hopefully it'll live up to what we think it is. Well, all right, man. I appreciate you calling in, man. I hope that you keep rolling with us, man. Calling in here, man. After this press conference tomorrow night, man. Hopefully everybody go in there and watch that, and we get back on tomorrow night. You call in and we all talk about this again and see, where everybody's thoughts are on this second one.
Okay, man. Well, good show. I'm gonna keep the rest.
All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, friend. Right. Big Dog is in the building. Salute. Chris Trucker. Salute. Yeah, man. Hey. Yeah, what he said was a whole lot of good stuff, man. Well, he's saying a whole lot of good stuff, man. Hey, this fight right here, man, is going to be good. I love that press conference, man. And anybody else want to call in and say something on that press conference? Because guess what? We got another one tomorrow night. I told you, man, I am so happy. I can't wait. I just like the festivities, man. I like it. Plus, I also want to see what else that PBC has up. You know what I mean? They're going to go to each, make sure they're going to these city tours and stuff and being around promoting this fight good. I think it's going to help this fight out tremendously, just letting everybody know it's on and getting it out, get everybody's juices flowing on it, and then get everybody's mouth watering. It's going to be, it's exactly what it needs. I think right now is the perfect time, because this year we've had so many really good fights, and all the fights have been good turnouts. This is going to be another one. This is definitely going to be another fight that's going to have a really good turnout. Man, I can't wait. But I can't wait to start seeing more and more as it get closer to these undercards, see how these guys looking on the undercards and all that stuff. Man, oh my goodness. Man. So let me ask you guys this. Out of all the people that Earl Spence fought, do you guys feel that this fight with Bud is do you guys think that Bud is the better way of saying that? Do you guys think that Bud is the better, harder opponent than Spence has ever faced?
Chris Trucker.
Showboat Sports, Chris Trucker, you on, my man. How you doing?
What up, Showboat? How you feeling, man?
Man, good, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I'm in this traffic down here in Virginia, 95. Hey, man, you know what? Let me call my man Showboat, talk some boxing a little bit while I'm waiting in this traffic, man.
It's bad down here right now.
Oh man, well yeah, well be careful with that, man. But yeah, man, the floor is yours, man. Sound off.
So I ain't really catch the press conference. So like, what's really what happened? Like, I'm calling you trying to get a little scoop. I'm out here on the road. I'm trying to see if anything significant or any words that was said.
Well, it's you know what, this press conference started out good. It's like, you know, they got this healthy respect for each other, that they really ain't crossing the line too much. And they asked Bud, they said, well, what do you guys think took so long for the fight? Bud was like, man, all that doesn't even matter. We're here to fight right now. Now Bud did say, he said, well, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, and you know what I mean? So they both took little shots. I don't really
threw a little bit of shots at each other.
I thought that was kind of a shot, but Bud has always said that he stays in shape, he eats clean, and he doesn't smoke, he doesn't drink. He's always promoted that. So kind of I took it like a shot towards Earl, and some other people did, but then in a way I didn't. Because they asked Earl about it in the end. Earl was like, yeah, you know, he said, but I don't drink no more, so it don't matter. He can feel how he want to feel. You know what I mean? But and then Earl also went at Bud and said, he also said to Bud, he said, who have you fought? You ain't fought nobody. You ain't got nobody on your resume. So that right there starts stirring the pot. They start coming at each other a little bit, then they back down a little bit and turn something, you know, I'm gonna fry some fish. So this first press conference was a decent press conference, but I'm looking that hopefully the next press conference will be a little bit more fireworks. They might get into more depths about, you know, each other and what they're gonna do to each other. You know how they are. You know how they try to stir the pot a little bit. So hopefully they'll do that. But other than that,
it's probably gonna start getting hotter as they get closer to the fight. It's probably gonna start getting more intense, and they're gonna start wanting to kind of, you know what I mean,
getting irritated with each other,
closer to each other. Yeah. Like I think it's gonna be, because you know, I don't know. Earl is a level-headed guy, and so you really gotta take Earl out of his character to probably get him to really get to putting his hands on you and pushing you and all that. It's gonna take Earl, one of them people, like, you gotta really push him to that like that level for him to be like, all right, I'm gonna jack you up. You get what I'm saying? Because he seemed more like an introvert. You know what I'm saying? Like a person that kind of like is more reserved. You know what I mean? Bud is a more outgoing person, but Bud is the type of person, he only really gonna disrespect you if you disrespect him.
Right.
Like if you disrespect him, then he'll get like real disrespectful with you. If you like say if you talk about Bud's mother or his sister, he gonna get real disrespectful with you. Like, your mother too. Like, I'm a, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Bud'll get dirty then.
So it's like he'll get dirty if you get dirty with him. He outgoing, but he not like super. He one of them people that's like, he more like me. I'm an outgoing person, but I'm not going to disrespect you just to disrespect you, just to do it, just for the sake of disrespecting you.
Right.
But if you come at me sideways, I might get a little belligerent. Like, hold up, I might open up on you if you go sideways with it and you get a little disrespectful.
Right.
That's the thing. Like, who gonna really kick it off? Like, it's like,
well,
not even just who.
But I tell you what, they've been getting a little irritated in there. Not irritated, but they've been throwing. You know how they say little stuff. You remember how Earl came on out and was like, man, I'm gonna crush Sean Porter. I'm a Sean Porter fight like he's swimming. Earl actually threw a little bit of that in there too.
Yeah.
Because Earl said, they was asking Earl. Earl was like, you know, because Derrick James was like, you know, Earl breaks people. You know what I mean? Over a period of time, Earl beats you down and imposes his will and breaks you. So Earl said that's what he's gonna do. He said, I'm gonna break him like he's a horse, like he a pony. He said that about Crawford. He said, I'm gonna break that dude. He said, I'm going in there and I'm gonna break him. He said,
the way he said it, he was cool, calm, and collected, though, right?
Yeah, but he said it like he said that shit like I meant it. Like he said, dude. He said, I'm gonna break your wheel. That's what he said. He said, I'm gonna beat him down. He said, I'm gonna break his wheel. That's what he said about Crawford. Crawford looked like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like he just laughed.
Crawford, like, Crawford, yeah, like, are you serious?
Yeah.
Like, Spence, man, he be real calm with it, like, man, like, I'm a beat him up. I'm gonna beat him up real bad.
Yeah.
That's how Spence be. I'm gonna beat you up, and I'm a jag you, and I'm a show my skill, and I'm a move my head, and I'm a whoop you. That's how Spence. That's how Spence be. He be calm and respectful with it, but be disrespecting you at the same time.
Man,
So,
and then he said,
man,
go to my, Spencer also said, go to my website and go get that eye patch. Go buy the eye patch. Cause
yeah, go buy that. Go to my website, go to my website and, and get that eye patch, that's how Spence, he be real, he be real calm with it. Bud waiting for Spence to just say something that's gonna get him. I think when they get closer to the fight and everybody like, yeah, they clapping and it's like, the fight week and it's like pressures for fight week. I think that's when you're gonna see like that face off where it's like, I ain't gonna turn and you ain't gonna turn. They gonna have to make us turn away from each other. That's what I think you're gonna see like as you get closer, you know what I mean? But this fight altogether, to me, this is a real like requested hardcore boxing fan fight. I'm gonna make a couple points before I get off, right? So as far as like how it's gonna do on the money side, I think it's gonna do well, extremely well. Because it is a lot of hardcore boxing fans in the world. So it's going to do extremely well. And it's going to bring a level of celebrity and everything to the fight. So we're going to see, like, if it is it going to do over 1 million pay-per-view buys? Even if it don't do that, it's going to do high numbers. It's going to do close to it. If it don't do 1.2 like Tank and Ryan, it's going to do close to it. You get what I'm saying? Because
right.
You got to think Tank and Ryan brung the casuals. So this fight might not bring certain types of casuals.
Right.
Like it might not bring like my man was saying, like it might not bring the little girls that be on TikTok that seen Ryan on TikTok. You know what I mean? Might not bring that element of casuals, but this is still on a level of fight. It's a bigger fight than Tank and Ryan, of course, because it's undisputed. Is Earl and Bud. You know what I'm saying? The competition level is a lot more even as far as level of fighter. Because everybody pretty much knew Tank was gonna beat the crap out of Ryan. Like everybody really. You had casuals picking Ryan, but real hardcore boxing fans knew Tank was going to stop Ryan. You know what I'm saying? But this is two high level like fights where it's like you really don't know. You can pick all you want, but in your heart of hearts, it's like, I don't know, man. This thing can go anywhere. That's why like I compare this fight to a person with like Bud being a person with more weapons, but Spence being the person with the stronger weapon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Bud is the guy with 2 Glock 17s with 30 clips. He got more weapons. He got more stuff he do in the ring. He got more bullets to shoot at you. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Spence is a 12 gauge shotgun with slugs in it. You get what I'm saying? Like if he hits you good one time, it's, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a wrap. Like you might got those two joints with the you might got more bullets and you got 2 guns. Yeah, you might hit me a couple. You might hit me a couple times. But if I get up close on you and I boom, and I hit you with this shotgun one good time, you're gonna be done. So you get what I'm saying? So it's like it's like the stronger weapon, the cannon versus the the Uzi. You get what I'm saying?
Right,
Like,
right.
It's a tough fight to pick. That's why I'm always 50-50 on it. Even though on paper, Bud to me he has more skills, but Earl is the better skilled fighter. A lot of people don't understand that. Like, when you say that, that's kind of over people's heads. A person can have more skills than you, but you can be the better skilled fighter than that person that got more skills than you. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You can be
right,
fundamentally more sound than a guy that has more skills.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right. They can switch.
So, like
they can
Bud,
do
he
this
has
and do
more,
that. And
right.
Earl said, "Nah, I can't switch,
Right.
but what I do is great."
I do it well. I do
Right.
it well. That's what I'm saying. Like what Spence does, he does it better than Bud. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Bud can do more. You get what I'm saying? So it's a that's the same thing I like. If you do Tank and Shakur, Shakur might be a more skilled, and you really can't, because Tank got a lot of skills too. That's why I like Tank is a very skillful fighter as well. You know what I'm saying? Shakur is a better boxer in some ways than Tank on the back foot, on the back foot, but Tank is a better boxer on the front foot. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you can't really. It's like if you picking Shakur to just beat Tank on his boxing skills, you can't dismiss Tank boxing skills too. You can't say Shakur is just going to outbox Tank and forget that Tank is a boxer.
Right. Because Tank has more skills than people give him credit for. He just don't have to use them as much. And
and what makes Tank more dangerous is that he got the power with it. Like he got the one shot. He got the one shot. Deontay Wilder one shot type of power. Like,
and he sets traps for you.
One shot, and you done.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Shakur got the type of power like Floyd had. Like I can knock you out. I can beat you up and knock you out. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? So Earl and Spence, I don't really want to make this about Shakur and Tank, because that fight ain't even in a negotiation.
But I know what you mean. But I'm gonna give you a quote. I'm gonna give you a quote that's saying everything you said came from Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee said, I don't fear a man that has 1,000 moves. I fear a man that has one move that he practiced 1,000 times."
Precisely.
You can have 1,000 moves, but the one I'm more afraid of is that one person that has that one move and he's perfected it 1,000 times. That's where the problem gonna come in at.
Exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So Earl is the guy. He's fundamentally sound. He coming at high guard. He's fundamentally sound. He coming behind that jab. He touching to the body, touching up top. He changing levels. He can pivot with you. He change. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, to me, it's going to all boil down. These are the type of fights right here that true boxing fans want to see. Those type of fights where it's like, the person who's going to lose tonight is the one who makes the mistake and pays for it. That's the person who's going to lose tonight.
Exactly. Because what do you do?
Whoever the person.
Well, I would say, what do you do? Like when Earl comes up to you, he's already start taking bites out of you. Every time he hits you, he's taking bites. He's taking bites. Well, Bud is such a good boxer. Then, Bud, what do you do when somebody's coming up to you taking little bites out? How do you make adjustments to counteract that? How do you make adjustments to a guy that hits hard, who is relentless? What's in your bag of tricks that puts a stop to that?
Got a granite chin.
Yeah.
He got a granite chin.
Yeah.
What you gonna do when somebody's standing in your face and you hit them with your best shot and they still coming?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's discouraging to a fighter. Like, man, I hit this dude with everything I got. and he won't stop.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what you gonna do? Get what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
it's pressure. It's pressure on both sides, in my opinion. It's pressure on Spence because we all seen when Spence fought Sean Porter, and Sean Porter is a very high value and active fighter,
Mm-hmm.
and that gave Spence problems periodically during the fight. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody that got high value and that's gonna keep punching with you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you keep punching, I'm gonna keep punching. When you keep punching, I'm gonna keep punching.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's pressure on a pressure fighter too. Like, okay, he's hitting me as I'm hitting him too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get exactly what you're saying.
Bud is right. So Bud is gonna have to fight at that high pace all fight. But I think Bud, he can do that periodically. He can let his hands go. We all know Bud can let his hands go too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he can bring problems to Spence too. Spence can't be looking for his teeth in the middle of the fight against Bud. He can't be doing that.
No, he can't. He can't.
You can't be looking. You can't be looking on the ground talking about, man, I thought my teeth was knocked out and I was embarrassed. Because Bud is a type of fighter that can capitalize on that and make and hurt you. You get what I'm saying?
And he will. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It's pressure on this. These are the type of fights, man, I like, man. The type of fights I like when Tank fight, bro. And you know, I'm a Baltimore Ravens, Baltimore Orioles fan. Anything that come out of Baltimore, I'm going to cheer for them. You know what I mean? But when Tank fight, man, it gives you that adrenaline rush like you fighting.
Yeah.
Like you be looking at the TV and you can't even sit down.
You can't breathe.
Man, what is about to happen? Every round you like, look, you gotta take a dump, but you like, I don't know, I'm gonna hold it, man. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this until this thing over, man. This is the type of fight, man, like where it's like, man, you throwing shots in the front of the TV like that's. Yeah, you in front of the TV with your guard up throwing your jab. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the type of fight.
It's a nail biter. You at the edge of your seat. You at the edge of your seat the whole fight.
You at the edge of your seat. This how I'm gonna be the whole fight with Bud versus Earl, man. I'm gonna be, man. I'm gonna be in my stance throwing my jab. Like, man, come on, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is the type of fight. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want your phone to ring. You don't really want nobody in there. If you ain't in here talking about boxing, don't even be in here, man.
Look, my son, my son coming there, he trying to box. I'm like, look, man, watch the fight, man. I'm like, look, man, look. I'm like, look, I love you, man, but look.
Not
man,
now.
Look, watch the
not
fight,
now.
Man. We can, not right now, man. This is crucial, man. I don't want to miss nothing. I love you. I do. I promise I love you. But not right now, son. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, my son did the same thing. He be coming there, he'll start asking questions about other stuff. I'll be like, man, look, right now, man, we focus right here, man. We'll talk about that later. My son look at me like, man, come on.
I'm going to holler at you at the fight. I love you, though. Look, I love you. Don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But, you know, this is the type of fight. This is the type of fight that is, man. Earl versus Bud, man, is that type of fight. Like, man, listen. Don't be calling me on no bull crap, man. Ain't even my friends, look. Don't be calling me on no shenanigans. We can talk about your breakup tomorrow, but listen, I will holler at you tomorrow, bro. I got to watch this fight. Yeah, man. I just want to call and chop it up with you, man. I don't want to hold you up too long.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you calling in, man.
Yeah.
But we got a lot more stuff to do, man. Hey, man, make sure tonight you go home or whenever you get a chance, check that press conference out. Because it's another one tomorrow. So that way you be up on it and see how the flow goes.
Check it out.
Yeah. So be ready for that one tomorrow.
I want to see how the energy. Yeah, I want to see the energy shift. I want to see who's gonna get it, who's gonna pop off, who's gonna get it started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, before I get off, did you see that Mayweather brawl with John Gotti's son?
Oh, yeah. The referee tried to pull that up. Yeah, I saw the highlights on that thing. He went over there trying to take and Mayweather caught him.
Bill caught him. Yeah. Look, Mayweather caught him with a right hand. I said, my man Mayweather was the street. My man could fight either way, man. I said.
And he ran right into there. Mayweather caught him. He backed up. Like, yeah.
He caught him with a right hand, man. Listen, that thing was crazy. I said, man.
Said, what was you thinking?
Still out here.
Yeah.
I said, man, this man is still out here making headlines, man. This dude crazy.
But
man.
it's time for Floyd to go ahead and call it up. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for calling in, man.
All right, man.
All right, man. Later.
All right.
TD's, hey, TD, he said, is Earl going to have trouble making weight? I don't think Earl will, man. Earl just, because he's been pretty lean the whole time. So he with that nutrition, so it shouldn't be a problem. Shouldn't be a problem. He said the press conference was set up to make Crawford look like the challenger. That gives Buds another edge. Yeah, and the chip on the shoulder. Yeah. But I don't, hey, TD, I don't really think that they was trying to make it seem like Bud is the challenge. Well, I don't know. Well, really, Bud. I say Spence A-side. Spence hold 3 belts in that weight class, man. So really, the Bud is really the challenger, TD. That's just my thoughts. That's my thoughts on that. B Megastar, salute. Yeah, man, that's just my thoughts on it. That's my thoughts on it. But hopefully, like I said, this press conference is good. It's gonna get better. Man, it's gonna get better. I can't wait till this tomorrow. And like my man said, hopefully it'll be changing. He said Spence A-side. Jay Jackson salute. Says Spence A-side. Yeah, I agree. That's what I think. He got the belts. He holding all the belts, but the one. Marquise Williams, salute. He said this fight is going to be a banger. Man, fight is going to be a banger. Hey, y'all, hey, listen. I can't wait till they get more comfortable with these what's names, and then it's all out, because it's like they still seem like they treading on a little bit of thin ice, a little bit like they watching how they move a little bit. But by this next press conference, man, hopefully, man, they'll go and shake all that off. You know what I'm saying? Shake all that off and come with it, man. And like y'all said earlier, I'm hoping that they get it going, but it's nothing fabricated. But they don't seem, them two dudes ain't fronting. Earl and Bud, they ain't gonna just make up stuff just to be making up stuff. Now they will come at each other with what they said, right? That's relevant, because they asked Bud today. They was like, "Hey, Bud, what you think took so long to make the fight or whatever?" And Bud's like, "Man, look, we ain't worried about all that right now. We fighting." You know what I mean? Once we get, you know what? This is the other thing too. The people out there that's doing interviews out there that's asking questions, they got to start asking the right questions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times they keep asking the same old silly questions. Why you think the fight wasn't here and it didn't happen? Man, we all past that, bro. It don't matter. That's all water under the bridge now. It's time to see what the next step gonna be. You know what I mean? And then they asking, and then Spence said, "Hey, I'm gonna break Bud." He's like, what do you think gonna come out of this? He said, "There's gonna be another good fighter that I broke." And then they was talking about how the people who you fought was washed up, and Spence told Bud, he's like, "Hey, you fought Sean Porter, but he wasn't taking no directions from his dad." So Spence saying the same thing we all saying. You know what I mean? Spence saying the same thing we all saying. And Bud's mom saying she gonna see if he's gonna get beat up. She gonna even pay Earl $5 if he can beat Bud. Hey, she does it all the time. Try to pay somebody to beat up Bud, and Bud wins all the time. That might be her thing. Earl gonna beat you, Bud, and then Bud goes out there short. Man, listen, these two cats are determined. These two dudes are determined. Like I said, I like the press conference. I like how it's going. I like all of that. I even like that Bomac threw his shots and Derrick James threw his shots, because they was asking Bud about undisputed and stuff like that. And Bud was like, "Yeah, I'll be undisputed. I'll be the first guy to do it in the four-bird Earl, hold 2 undisputed. I'll be the first guy." And then Derrick James threw out there. He said, "No, T.O. was the first." And then Bud said T.O. was never undisputed, which is true. T.O. wasn't never undisputed. When he fought Cambosis, he wasn't undisputed. And then when he fought Josh Taylor, the reason why they saying he's undisputed with the Josh Taylor is because Josh Taylor really hadn't lost. He stripped his belt. So, you know. Technically, that's why they try to say that, but really, he didn't hold them belt. So you can say he was that, you know. And so he said, "What's Spence style? I break grown ass men." Yeah, clean cut. That's exactly what we do. T-word, salute, salute, salute. Man, we're here talking about this first press conference, man. Getting geared up for the second one, getting to the road to the fight. You know how it goes down. Yep. Yep. Man, hey, I can't wait. Like, hopefully this next press conference, like I said, they let it go. As they would say, as Adrian Broner, let your hands go. Hopefully they let these words go. Let what they really feel inside, right? And I like it. Because you know what, though? Every time one of the two says something about the other, every time Spence says something about Bud, and every time Bud says something about Spence, they taking that stuff to heart, bro. And then later on throughout the press conference, you're going to see all this stuff that the other one said is going to come out, you know? It's all going to come out. Yeah, I remember you said that. You know what I mean? Because you remember Spence was offended when you remember when they had the face off, they were sitting there talking. And Spence and Mikey said, I think Spence is a good fighter, but I think I'm a little bit better in everything. And then Spence like, man, you're not faster. Spence was offended with that. You know what I'm saying? And now they got Spence as being the underdog in the betting. They got Crawford up. Crawford's the favorite, slightly, but he's still the favorite. So they asked Spence, and Spence like, man, I'm just about always the underdog. When I went to go fight Kell Brook, I was underdog. When I got into the wreck, you know, at the things that happened, Danny Garcia and Ugas. So he's like, you know, I gotta make a statement. And I think at this point, he wants to make a statement. He's been saying he's going to fight Bud. They've been saying he's scared to fight Bud. And that's done got up under Spence's skin. When they try to say Spence, when Spence said, I'm going to clear up my side of the street, I'm going to make the easier fight, meaning it's with the same promotional company. It's an easy fight to make. They all blew it out of proportion, telling me, oh, Spence going to go take the easy route, the easy stuff, you know, he's scared of Bud. So Spence done internalized that. Yeah, oh, Mikey, I see something. Yeah. Mikey said all that stuff and it got up under Spence's skin. But you best believe both these two dudes gonna get up under each other's skin. They definitely getting up under each other's skin. And right now, it's just the beginning. This is just the beginning one. Just wait as this press conference goes down and the eating habits and back and forth in the gym, they're gonna get agitated. You know what I mean? They're not, you know, right when it gets close to time, they're gonna really be agitated. So right around the beginning, after the 4th of July, I think it's gonna really be heated after that. He said, hopefully Terrence Bud Crawford will return to Omaha 40-0 and the unified welterweight champion, pound for pound best fighter in the world. True world champion. Bigger than the Super Bowl. Hey, TD, you right, bro. Whoever wins this one is the true pound for pound. And that thing is going to be huge. And then guess what? They got to turn right around and do it again because they both have a rematch clause. You know what I'm saying? As long as one person don't just go in there and just run through the other one. And then even then, that fighter going to want some more. Now, if you get ran through twice, that's going to be a bad situation, bro. But like y'all said, neither one of these two dudes want to drop the ball. Spence, like you said earlier, when he called in, he said earlier, Spence don't want to lose to Crawford and be the guy that let Crawford be 2-time undisputed. Spence don't want to do that, man. After all the stuff he done talked, you done said Crawford lighting ass. You remember you said all that? And then Crawford definitely don't want to go get beat by Spence after they done said Crawford ain't had no good competition. And if Spence go in there and whoop Crawford, then they gonna say, Crawford, you was just make believe all that time. So them accomplishments meant nothing. So it's a lot on the freaking line, man. It's a lot. Because Crawford like, oh, man, I dominated. I fought all these good fighters and all that. And you go in there and get dog walked by Spence or just really get beat convincingly. Oh, my goodness. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that. You know? I don't think you want that. But neither one of these two dudes got a give up mentality. That's why I like when Spence said, I'm going to break him. I'm going to treat him like a horse. I'm going to break him like a horse. He said, I'm going to keep imposing my will. And Spence said this. He said, the first few rounds might be competitive. He said, but after that, you'll start seeing that I'm going to start breaking his will. He said, they all fight back in the beginning. Hey, what did Gerald say? Gerald said he gets off on stuff like that. That's what it seems like Spence does, man. But then Crawford like, hey, you may think that I'm going to go in there and I'm putting it on you, bro. I'm going to knock you out. I'm going to stop you. That's what Crawford thinks. Crawford really, both these two guys convinced they're going to stop the other one. But anyway, guys, that's all for me tonight, guys. I'm going to go get down and get off of here and be ready for this next press conference tomorrow. So, man, y'all make sure y'all have a good night. If y'all haven't seen that press conference, go in there and check this press conference out so that way you guys will be up on it and be ready for the next press conference tomorrow so we can see how the energy change. And hopefully we start seeing this stuff evolve. They done went from I think that most of the time they hadn't been wanting to step on each other's toes because they wanted to make the fight happen. So now that this fight is happening and is real, I think that both these guys are trying to transition and stop trying to be so, I don't want to step on his toes because I don't want to ruin this fight. You know what I mean? It's like, because you remember when they both was mad, they was going at it on Twitter and they was talking cash shit to each other and they was going at it and they wasn't no holds bar. And then Crawford, Crawford's like, yeah, man, all this stuff you said, I'm gonna break your neck. You remember Crawford was saying all that stuff. Yeah, we just waiting. Chris Spence like, all right, we'll wait. They was going back and forth, right? So then they stopped all that. They talked on the phone. They got all this stuff together, right? So now we got the fight going on. So now we got to get back to those attitudes because they had to be real cordial because they didn't want to keep, make it harder to make the fight with their tempers flaring. But now the fight is a done deal. It's time to let it go. So you guys go check that press conference out today if you ain't seen it, and be ready for this new one tomorrow. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow night, man. We stand on all that. That's straight up no chaser, guys. So until tomorrow night, peace, fight, fam. I'm out. Catch you guys later. Oh, yeah, if you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, and share, man, and be a part of the circus. We do this every weeknight, 10 p.m. Eastern. So until tomorrow night, peace, y'all. I'm out.